Renaissance kitchen that they built in 1582. And so, of course, there's been earthquakes that have knocked it down since then, but they've always used the same stones to rebuild it in the same style. So this is what it looked like in the Renaissance as well. The building here, this used to be the home of the Pallavicinis originally. Today they're big shots, right? So they have, you know, a fancy place in the city to live. But today the viticulturalists live here, the people that take care of the wine and the grapes, of course. So if you come around this way, there's lots of photo opportunities, of course. Remember last year when they had the earthquake in L'Aquila? L'Aquila is just over those mountains there on the other side, so we're really not that far from L'Aquila. Vuoi venire qua? No. Ok. Niente. This is so beautiful. So if you come this way, we can actually see the grapes themselves. Oh, they're doing good. Last time I was here was like 2 weeks ago, so they've grown. You feel free to walk around. You can taste the grapes, but I warn you, they're going to be very, very sour still. They're getting sweeter as time passes. But you're welcome to try a few.
You first.
Yeah. So when the temperature reaches about 50 degrees Fahrenheit, just in the early spring, of course, the first thing you have is bud break. Okay, and after that, about 50 days after that, you have flowering. And then from the flowers come what is called berry set. And they're like tiny little hard balls that are very bumpy. And from this come the actual bunches of the grapes. And so these little tiny berries, how they start out, are actually just little balls of acid. And what happens is eventually the grapes themselves start to form. The sugars from the leaves are what's called translocating into the grapes themselves. So the longer they stay on the vine and the hotter the sun is, the sweeter they'll get. And so we're in that period of translocation. So they're just getting sweeter and sweeter, and that'll continue until, you know, winter, I suppose. They're taken off the vines though around the first week or two of September. But again, it's not always the same every year because it depends on what kind of summer you had. That's the whole trick to making wine, is knowing the exact moment to take the grapes whenever they've reached the peak of both their maturity, which has to do with the acid, and the ripeness, which has to do with the sweetness. So you want to make sure they're at, you know, the perfect moment when you pick them. And I'd be more than happy to get pictures of you guys. If you give me your camera, I'd get a snapshot of you so you can both do the same picture. Oh yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah? Yeah?